beautiful books loves. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are having a good day so far. I hope you guys are having a good January. All things considering. Yes. But I hope you guys are at least getting some reading in, right? that's the most I can hope for at this point. My goal for 2025 is to really do more on BookTube. December and January, I feel like for parents are like very hectic because at least here in PA, my kids have off like this massive stretch of time. They just have so many days off. They have big stretches. They have half days. There's things to do. Like it's a lot. And I want to do more than just have like a BookTube video every 2 months. So, but I did take some time for myself. I went to my sister's house for a week. It was her suggestion. Best suggestion ever. It was the mental health reset I needed. Not that I'm all fixed and everything is honky-dory. That's not what I mean. But I needed that break more than I realized that I needed that break. Even though I already knew I needed one, but I'd never done anything like that. Leave home for that stretch of time, and my kids stayed home. And so now here we are. So what I'm going to do today is give you some of my favorite reads of 2024. I read 131 books last year. So I was doing like top 10 or top 5. And I'm like, I just enjoyed so much of what I read, limiting myself to that. So I just figured I would pick out the ones that like stuck out to me the most, that like, you know, either I enjoyed the most because they brought me joy or because they wrecked me like that. Because I'm very much one of those people that like when a book breaks me and has me sobbing in the fetal position on the floor, I'm like, 5 stars. Give me more. Yeah. So I don't want to, what's the word? Well, never mind that. I'm going to give these books to you in no particular order. That doesn't mean I love them more, I love them less. Because there's a mix of genres and a mix of authors. I'm just gonna give it to you. I'm gonna give you this set first because I just got these beautiful Kickstarter special editions yesterday. I actually unboxed it on my other social medias. And in 2024, Ruby Rowe healed something in me. She's an autobiography author. I love her books. She writes lesbian romances, and when I tell you her books bought me never. I mean, I flew through them. I found her, read what she had. I'm on a street team. I did something I never did was I pledged for my first ever Kickstarter. These are editions that came yesterday. This is the Kingdom of Immortal Lover series. This is the second trilogy in a world that she's built. The first trilogy is the Girl Game series. I don't have copies of those yet, but I will. And there's one more. There's a duology coming up next, and I will round out the world and the interconnected situation. Yeah, these books and the Girl Game series, that's going to be a collective one because it's the same world. I love them all. I love the author. She took up most of my 2024 because I'm now listening to the Girl Game series on audio. I'm up to book 2. Yeah. These books are very spicy. Yes, they have a plot. This is spiced with plot, but they're very spicy, very delicious in that. They're so much fun. They were like gut-wrenching, they were emotional, they were delicious, they were everything. Just all the books are just badass women doing badass woman shit, and that's my jam. I have never and will never be turned off by strong women. And so yeah, this series, the last one, House of Crimson Curses, that book gave me more than I ever thought. The way it ended, she ended that trilogy beautifully. Like I already know I was gonna love it. I just didn't realize that she would give me that. She would do that to me. So that's all the stars, clearly. Next one. Very underrated fantasy. I don't know why. Everyone else is reading all her other books, and I just don't understand why this was not getting more play. Elise Kova, The Alchemist of Loom. It's got steampunky vibes. Um, it is queer. I don't want to say too much of it, not ruin it, but it is like higher fantasy. So there is world building. There's different races. This is Ariana. Look, she's the love of my. It is signed. I did meet the author. It says "Been before no man, dragon or king." But focus, Debbie. Ariana is one of the MCs here. She's the love of my life. Because I read it last year, I can't give you, like, I did review this book on my other social medias. So, like, there is at the end, there is the, oh my God. Words leave me. There's I'm going to say index because the word's not coming to me. Of like explaining the races and the worlds and the levels and all that stuff. But it's not confusing. I know for some people, like an epic or a high fantasy is too much. There's a lot of detail. There's a lot going on, and that can be overwhelming. But this is one I highly recommend. I have not read the next book in the series. I'm someone who has my hands in a lot of series and a lot of pots and a lot of genres, and everything gets lost sometimes. But doing videos like this remind me, like, yeah, get to it. This was fantastic, like fantastic. I have spoken before about this author here. She's an autobiography author for me. She's one of my top 3 favorite authors of all time. AJ Vrana. And the book she dropped last year was Wild Blood, which is a companion novel to the Chaos Cycle duology, which I've talked about here also. One of my favorite books of all time, that duology, both of them. And this is right up there with it. It is standalone. You don't have to read The Hollow Gods and the Elko Realm to get this. Not at all. But if you want to see the character growth and the way their relationship has grown, Kai and Maya's, I would suggest to do so. Again, you don't have to, but they are an established couple already. They're not in the Hollow Gods. So if you want to see the growth and just in the growth of just AJ's writing in and of itself, which was already spectacular from book 1, in my opinion. Again, author by author. Love her. Like, magic realism and all that stuff. Yeah, this one has ADHD rep. Men in therapy. Men in therapy. We love to see it. The romance is a subplot to this. And yes, it is a couple. And they are a couple, yes. But there's so much more going on than just that. There is spice in this. My original copy of The Hollow Gods doesn't have any of that. If you go back in, they've been added now. But I loved it when it had the one Fade to Black scene. Like, I love spice in my books. It's not necessary though. But just so you know, this is phenomenal. Phenomenal. That one also ended in a way that I thought was perfection. Next, it's my first ever book of hers. Won't be the last. So I gotta get on that. I gotta get on that. The Reformatory by Tananarive Due. Her books have been on my TBR for a while, and I got this one gifted from Saga Press. I'm on the Saga Says crew. I wanted to read any of her books so bad that when I got it, I dropped everything else I was doing to read this. If you've not read it, you must. You should. All right? You don't have to do anything you don't want to, but I really think that you should. It's heartbreaking and it's real, and even though, like, and it is based, she said herself that it is based on a relative of hers, and so there is, like, it's a ghost story, and you'd think that, like, the spooky boos would be the scariest part of this, and it's not. It's absolutely not. It's set in the Jim Crow South, and it can be a lot. It is a heavy book to take in. Beautifully written, fantastically done. Like, just from this book alone, I'm a fan, and I cannot wait to read the rest of her work. This book, I ate it up. I ran right through it. Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. Very popular book. Especially last year and the past 2 years. Like, I've got book 2. I haven't read it yet. I actually managed to get that one on sale. Just like this one. I ran through this book. I'd heard good things about it, and it's one of those like, it's really hype. I'm afraid. Last year, the very first book that I read was a hype book that everyone was loving, and I DNF'd it because I thought it was. I did. Never mind. We're not talking about that book. I didn't like it, so I DNF'd it. So when you go into books like this, where everyone's like, "Yeah, it's the best, it's the shit, it's the this, it's that," you got it. I'm always like, I want to be happy for you guys. I want to be happy with you guys, but it can be a little scary sometimes because you're like, is everyone just jumping on the bandwagon just to I don't know to like vibe with the cool kids? I don't know. But no, I absolutely love this. Eat it up. I read it so fast. It's a bit chunky, and I'm telling you, I've read it crazy fast. Next one. Here's another one. Yet another author of that I've only read one book of, but I want to read everything she has written. The Weight of Blood by Tiffany D. Jackson. Another book that everyone was like, you gotta read it, you gotta read it. And I'm like, all right, I'll read it. Please, no lies told about this. It is a like a Carrie retelling. So if you've, and that's a Stephen King book. If you've not ever seen the movie, if you've never read the book, then you can pretty much go in blind. That's all I knew about it when I went in, because the people that I, whose reviews I watched, they didn't spoil anything. But it's like based on Carrie. Phenomenal. I recommend this to everybody. One of my friends I recommended to, like, she ate it up. I feel like I'm saying recommended wrong. I feel like I'm saying it too fast and I'm constantly learning. I recommended this to everyone. This is fantastic. Again, I do want to read more Tiffany D. Jackson books. Yes, very much so. But yeah, this book, yes. This book took my heart last year, and I still think about it. I want so badly to reread it, but she's a bit chunky. And I've been rereading these. I'm doing the audiobooks now, so like, I'm trying very much for the past couple of years. I've been trying very, very hard to not reread too much, because I did that for years, and just get through the books that I have. But then you have books like this, A Lady for a Duke by Alexis Hall. It is a trans historical romance. And when I tell you that this book, it took my heart and it ran with it. It ran away with it. I think about it constantly. I walk downstairs, it sits right there, and I'm like, pick it up and read it again. One more time. I feel like I've been saying this a whole video. Another author that I've only read one book of. But I hope to change that in the future. As you can see, I just... There's a lot. I'm reading a lot. I'm reading like 6 right now. And I shouldn't be. I went to the library, borrowed more books. Not the point. If you don't focus, Debbie, this was beautifully told. I loved it very much. First of all, I'd never heard of a trans historical romance. So I had to have it. It was the first one I read, and then after I read this one, I found a different one, but that's not the point. Or was it the other way around? Anyways, all the stars. I love it. It was beautiful. Yes, it is chunky. I mean, it's a historical romance. I would say it's a bit slower paced. So maybe not be everyone's cup of tea, but it most certainly is mine. This book undid me mind, body, and soul. Okay? I spent most of this book sobbing. Ugly, ugly sobbing. Crossed Over by Santana Knox. This book messed me up. Very, very much so. It is called The Coming Out Story. I'd not read Santana Knox before. And this was the first one I read. I don't know if all her books are like this. All I know is that this book, it broke me. And I loved it. And then when I reread it, it'll probably break me again. Probably. These next are ebooks, so I don't have them. I just cracked my name. I am not young. Bright Red Fruit by Safia El Hillo. That's written in prose. I want to say I'm saying right, or it's poetry form. Hopefully I'm saying that right. I never said I was smart. Beautiful story. Do check your triggers. There is essay in this, but this, give me a second. Sorry about that. I thought that there was something on my porch or a noise. Not the point. No one cares. All I talk about bright red fruit. Prose. The book is written in verse. This was a beautifully told story. It is a coming of age story. It is YA. Do please check your triggers because there is an essay situation that goes on in there. So please, but it is Samira, young girl. She wants to make it in the slam poetry scene. She catches the eye of someone. Also, like around her neighborhood, like around her family and her people, like she has like a reputation. You know, her mother believed everyone else and not her. It's a lot. It's very, like I said, it was coming of age, and it was beautiful and it was sad, and I loved everything through. It's my first time reading a book like that. And so I loved it. I thought it was beautifully done. Next one. Oh, no. The next three are novellas that really stood out for me. Last year, I read a lot toward the end of the year, more novellas. I was kind of sticking to those. And really between October and December, because I was trying to give Christmas books, like Christmas themed books, a try for my sister, because Christmas just isn't my jam. Ignore the Wonder Woman stocking. She's there because it's Wonder Woman, not because it's a stocking. Everything else is Halloweeny. But there were three that I really, really loved, and I am someone who for a long time, I'm in my 40s, and I just kind of ignore novellas. I slept on them, and I would have missed out on these if I was just like, I don't want to read those. First one, Checking Her Out by Eliza Lenski. This is a paranormal one. This one was really short, but it was so good. And the ending was like, okay, what else? What, like, are you not, that's like, you're not going to give us like another piece, even if it's another novella? Like, I really, really I liked it a lot. Next one was Noche Buena by Stephanie Sheh. And if I didn't say Checking Her Out, sapphic. Noche Buena, also sapphic. It's diverse and sapphic. This book was very emotional. This already has an established couple. They're already married. They're hitting a little snafu in their marriage. And it's just about family and coming together, and just, it happens sometimes, you know, if the emotions you feel, like one wife, she's going through stuff on her side, and then the other one is dealing with stuff on her side, and it's just one of those like miscommunication. You kind of keep it to yourself, and you don't talk to your partner about it, and it begins to set up walls that don't need to be there, because you just have to talk to your person. And I love that it really, really stuck out for me. And last but most certainly not least, this is erotic horror, Slashed by Talia Sanchez. Yeah, this was hot. And you're like, that's your recommendation? Yeah, it was hot. It was very hot. I really enjoyed it. And if you're like, I don't know if I want to try erotic horror, I don't know if that's something that I want to give, I want to, delve into. It being a novella, it's gonna be smaller, so you don't have to like read a bigger book. You can give it a shot. And if it's not your gig, I mean, it's not your gig. That's perfectly okay. And that is all I have for now. I probably forgot something. I'm almost positive I forgot something. I forgot something. So yes, let us manifest that in 2025 I do a lot better here. I've got my own catching up to do with other booktubers whose work I enjoy. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoy the rest of the year. We gotta manifest these things, baby. We gotta say it out loud. We gotta speak it out loud so they become our truths. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for being here. And, you know, like and comment and subscribe, all your things. Tell me your favorite books. Are any of these interesting to you? What did you love in 2024? You know, have you read any of these? So please let me know. And I now bid you all adieu.